Hello, welcome back with me. My name is Dionisius and I'm from 11 Science 4 and I'm student number 13 and I'm going to talk about or giving a speech about how important that sex education is needed by a child and here I'm going to speak as a control side and by the way I'm from SMA Regina Pacis Senior High School and I'm going to giving a speech about it, so enjoy. First, though the pros may seem like very valid reasons to vote for it, there are certain people who believe that sex is better left to be understood by teenagers themselves, if at all, or worse, through unreliable sources. So they probably had an hoax or untrusted sources that they found, and hence they strongly oppose the idea of sex education in schools. So here it is, some of the arguments against it now. First, lack of sincerity. It is often seen that sex education is not taken seriously. Students tend to look at it as a subject of ridicule and either don't attend the classes or, if made compulsory, either engage in snickering and giggling. Throughout, they seem to be aware of much more than the person who is teaching them about it. Thanks to numerous movies, sitcoms, and other media propagating sex as a style statement, the sensationalizing of sex in school has reached such a level that teens will engage in sex just to prove how cool and popular they can be. There's little that sex education can do for them, and it is not just the students but the faculty too. If they really want to take the education sex about it to a whole new level or a higher level about the understanding and importance, then they should have more than the customary classes that they do and hire people who are trained and well informed to teach the students about the sex education. Because uh, we can see that uh, some of the people who made the sex education event, they hire people, but they don't they didn't take it serious. Like they didn't hire the people who are really trained to want to give information about sex education. Like the 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 speaker didn't know about sex education, just he just know a little bit about it, and so just the even the even the people who made the event just hired it just like that and didn't take it seriously. And that's why, in my opinion, uh, sex education since little is not good, because there are a lot of things that didn't support it. And here are some more arguments about it and about religious beliefs and sentiments. Many groups of people believe that when it comes to sex education, like the cons outweigh the pros for one very simple reason. They believe beyond a doubt that their children should not be exposed to something as crude as sex, because in their school days, because their religion doesn't permit it. It goes against their religious beliefs and sentiments, and they do not accept it on principle. So it becomes very difficult to argue with people when they bring religion to the forefront. And so many schools prefer to leave this sensitive issue untouched. But not all schools, but mostly. So, and there are more about it, like interpretation of education, as opposed to abstinence only education. When schools propagate safe sex, they run the risk of having their information misinterpreted by the students. We will all agree that we can listen to hours and hours of lecturing about any topic, but finally do exactly what we want. Unfortunately, it is the same with sex education. Students may listen to the lectures going on and on about safe sex, but in the end, engage in unsafe sex because they didn't listen to it, and they just think that that is a joke, or they didn't take it seriously, and like blah blah blah, and they will just justify saying that they learned about it in school, but they didn't apa given focus to that, and that if the teachers didn't want them to engage in sexual activities, they never should have brought up the topic in the first place. And curiosity can make them take foolish steps which they will undoubtedly regret later, because regret always comes later, right? And as you can see, the possibility of a consensus on the debate about whether or not sex education in school is acceptable or not, like it is needed or not, that will take a while to happen. Until then, all we can do is hope that the children will realize their responsibilities toward their bodies and toward their minds, so they have a good vibes, good brains, good positivities, and do such good things, and don't take sex education like a weird thing, because it's an education, so we can learn which is good and not. So yeah, like that. And I still have more opinion about it, uh like the my opinion about why sex education is not really needed since we were a child, because we need it when we are ready to uh, accept the information about it, and we are already mature enough to accept it. And that the sexual problem include basic human needs like eating and drinking. With the following basic needs, humans will try to get it according to their needs. Even so with sex, humans will find out when they need it according to their needs, and that is one of the reasons why me as the first speaker didn't accept that sex education is needed from we were a child. And here it is, the second one, that if sex education is given to teenagers, it will encourage them to do so. This is like the lessons they learn and which really needed to be practiced. And because child didn't know which is good or not, so they just copy it and just do it and practice it in their own ways. So that's why I think sex education is, from child, is still not good enough, because we are not mature enough to accept the lessons. And the third one, that if sex education is given to adolescents, is overshadowed by concerns about the use of sex education, as it already mentioned in the second point. This is based on the mental resilience possessed by adolescents. It is very worrying if they cannot control their lust and are not strong enough to resist their biological impulses, like they're willing from their biological impulse that encourage them to do that. So nobody knows, and that's why sex education is needed when we're mature enough to accept the information and the education about it. And the fourth one, or the last one, adolescents are physiologically characterized by a state of curiosity, want to experience, want to feel, and so on. They do not think long enough. As a result of his position that is still completely free without any ties, there is no burden, and so on. So I think from all of the arguments we can which I have spoken right now, I think that sex education is not really important, because if we were not mature enough to accept information, we can make the information as a bad lesson, like we are gonna practice it in a wrong way. So that's it from me. Thank you.